have a set list?
Yes.
Cool.
Kind of.
5 hours later.
Okay. I'll introduce.
Oh, really?
What?
Wow. For the first time ever.
For the first time in forever. Hey everybody, this is Abby, your everyday mermaid, and this is
Lauren!
my mergal pal, and you are listening to the Everyday Mermaid podcast.
Da, da, da,
Na,
da,
na, na, na.
Hey!
I know a lot of y'all are kind of sad that we don't have that mermaid song as our theme song anymore. We're going to bring it back, but just in a different way. Like, you know, just give some time. And the more patrons we have, the faster that process will go on our Patreon. So for those of y'all who don't know, we're on Patreon now.
We are.
And
Just give it a thought. Give it a whirl.
It's for those of y'all who don't know what Patreon is. It's just like you become a member of something. So you go to Patreon, patreon.com/everydaymermaid, and that's where we have a little page there, and we release ad-free versions of the episodes. We release bonus episodes and just bonus content throughout the week that we don't release anywhere else. So it's just a fun time.
Yeah. To like overinflate ourselves. We're like Michelangelo or Vermeer. They had patrons. We have them too.
We do. And, you know, like I've said before, I did quit my full-time job to do this. So, we do need help.
haven't done that.
It's okay. It's all right. But, you know, it is helpful, especially just to know that we can count on, okay, we know we have this many patrons this month. Like, that means we can do X, Y, Z.
Yes, yes.
And if we're going to go on the road or something, it's just helpful to have some help.
Yeah.
So you can start at $5, $10, $20, whatever you want to do. We have it set up to where you can do $5 per creation, which means $5 like per episode that we like throw in there. But if you want to just do $5 a month, you just set your monthly limit to $5. So like literally all it would be is $5 a month, and that just really helps us continue to bring you awesome mermaid content.
Absolutely.
And it keeps me from not having to go and back to corporate America and not enjoy my life. Thank you.
Speaking of, we had a very enjoyable time in California.
Yes, we did. We haven't been able to talk about it on the podcast.
I know.
Really, like just us. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. That's so true. Oh my gosh, it's been a hot second.
Yeah. It all like there was so much that happened. I was trying to explain it all to my mom, and I was like, and then. Wait, what day was that?
I know.
When did we go there?
I need to write it down because I'm just, you know, it's the brain is like an hourglass. Like you're just losing little grains all the time.
Well,
of like the day-to-day stuff. So
I was glad that you were there because LA traffic is no joke, my friends. And Lauren, you are quite the driver of the zippy car.
oh my gosh, the zippy car. I honestly like it. So I drive a Kia Sportage, which I adore and which I just paid off this year.
Holla!
Yes, girl. Big fan of Kia. I love it. But I'm also pretty big fan of like bigger cars.
Yes.
Because I like to be able to know that I could sleep in it comfortably if ever there was need. So I can lay out the entire flat.
If there's ever a zombie apocalypse.
I know, if there was we already know what I would do with that. Not doing it. So I can lay the whole back flat, and it worked really well when I was in LA because when I ferried, I had so much stuff I had to bring with me. Yeah. So, and I love my little Sportage. It's great. But the Hertz that I rented from, I guess they ran out of cars. So
it happens.
It does. So I got upgraded to like the 5-star, and they were like, just go to the parking lot and pick the smallest car there. And I said, that seems suspect. But okay.
Okay.
So I got this little Kia like Optima, I think. I don't know. It was a brand spanking new car, and that thing could go everywhere.
And it did.
It was, oh gosh, yes. It was, I mean, the first thing I did with it was drive it down to San Diego for the wedding.
Yeah.
And then, like, I had to drive back up that night, and oh my God. I mean, the zip, 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 zip. I was weaving in and out of traffic.
She was.
I was, like, doing all the things. I was like, this car is so amazing. Oh, man. Tokyo Drift.
It was, I don't know if it's because I've been rear-ended 3 times, but I flip out when I see people like behind us, like not slowing down or whatever. But Lauren, like, you were one of those people that like didn't slow down until the very last minute. So I would be like, like every now and then I go, like
her life, my friends. It was right there. But, and I'm just over here having the time of my life, like,
oh yeah, yeah, like not a care in the world. Like she knew what she was doing, and I was happy about that because I didn't drive a single bit of that trip, and I'm okay with it because you got us there safely.
Man, LA is drive big or drive home, like,
well,
or don't drive at all.
Some of those people there did not need to be driving, do not need to be on the road. But yeah, we went all over creation.
Oh my gosh, we did.
I'm trying to think. So the first day you picked me up from the airport and we went to
had a traumatic tripod experience.
Yeah. Southwest broke my Manfrotto tripod, which for those of you who don't do video stuff, I mean, it's a $600 tripod, and the piece that they broke off was like, it's not metal, but it's aluminum apparently. And I'm like, how does one...
It's still a pure piece of, like, metal. And it's not, like, snapped on a hinge. It's not cracked. It's broken off.
Like, in half. Like, the metal is... or whatever it is broken in half. And I was like, how... What happened? Like, how did this happen? And so, anywho, that was the, like, immediate thing that happened as soon as I got to LA, which... Whatever. I mean, that's why we have business insurance. Right. But, it was a $600.
Still not the way you want to start a trip.
It wasn't great. And I'm like, we're in LA. Like, people have tripods. But I'm like, still, like, it just sucks.
Yeah.
But.
We got her some food.
Yeah.
We got her unpacked.
Yeah. You know how your brain fog is, like, so thick you, like, can't, like, eat or think or talk?
Yes.
Like, that's where I was at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So
that was me recently. I had to like go to work and then I had like another work function afterwards.
Oh my gosh.
And I went home and was talking to boyfriend and I looked him straight in the eye and said, I love you. But I can't extrovert anymore.
No.
I can't talk to you.
I understand that. Like
I have to go to bed right now.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come into the bedroom and talk to me.
Yeah.
And like say what you need to say, but I will not be engaging in a conversation. This will be a monologue for you.
Totally. Like, that's where I was. For sure. Yeah. I mean, and like, yeah. There are very few days when it gets to that point for me.
Yeah.
But
that was one of those days.
Yeah.
That's okay. Because the next day.
We went to Disneyland. So fun.
Spent more money than I have got any right.
Oh my gosh. It's just so funny because, like, I don't know. They have things there that you are like, I'll never get this anywhere else. Like,
look at this stuff.
Isn't it neat? What did you think? My collection's not complete.
It's not. Because there's more.
Because there's more always. Yeah. And I mean, like, there are very few places that you and I can go where it's like, give me everything.
All of it.
Disneyland is one of those places. Mm-hmm. And we got what we needed, you know.
Yeah. I haven't worn my new shirt yet.
What?
I know.
I've worn mine like a gazillion times.
Yeah, because I actually forgot I had it.
Oh.
Because it got left in
your suitcase?
Yeah. So
have you unpacked it?
Yes, I have unpacked it, but it's like all of my stuff went to the wash and I had like I put a bunch of stuff away and I just didn't pay attention. And so today when I was pulling out like clothes and things like that to get ready, I was like, oh, my shirt, my beast shirt.
So cute.
At some point, I will take a picture of it and put it on the Insta and be like,
yes,
voila.
Yes, it's so funny.
It's
your
really
shirt
funny.
that you got. Yeah.
It was a youth shirt, so I got a big size.
Yeah, a bigger size, but that's perfect.
Yes.
Like it still fits you perfect.
Yes, so it's great.
Yeah, so we got shirts. I got a mermaid sweatshirt. I got a new mermaid notebook. Because every morning I, write in a notebook and about how grateful I am for things and then talk to the universe for a little bit. But, yeah, so finally got a new one of those and it has Ariel on it. It's beautiful.
So pretty.
And I got to use it at Pod X.
Yes, you did.
But we can talk about that later
We will.
because we're talking about California right now.
So we did, and we did Disney, guys. Like,
I mean, we don't not do Disney.
true, but I did Disney more than I've done Disney ever before. So Disneyland has 2 parks, right? It's got Disneyland or Magic Kingdom, and it's got California Adventure, and they're like 100 feet apart. Yeah, well, a little bit more than that. But
it's
whatever.
not like Disney World.
No, you don't have to take a separate bus to get to it. You literally just exit
Just
and then
walk in.
walk across the 5-lane highway.
We
basically,
park
that could
hopped
fit there.
Like multiple
times.
It was fantastic. Yep.
Yeah, it was great. Had lunch at one of my favorite restaurants, which is Cafe Orleans. And
Because last time we were there, we had dinner in Ariel's restaurant.
Yeah.
Which is no longer there.
it is no longer.
It's like some
Moment of silence.
it's some lighthouse or lamppost or
It's
something
for the toy.
restaurant.
It's for the Toy Story
I'm like,
Lamppost Lounge. Yeah,
sure,
or Lamplight
I get
Lounge.
it, but that was such a special experience
know.
last time we went.
yes, because it's a character meal.
Yes.
So all of the princesses show up and they come to your table and meet and greet you, and
You
we
get cups with Ariel on
You do.
it.
I
and
still
you
have
get
the
a little
light, yeah.
thing. Yes, light up Ariel. It was a great time.
Yeah.
And now it's closed.
Yeah, so now the only character meal that's available in either one of the Disney parks, not the off-site
Yeah.
places, but actually in the parks, there is one, and it's on Main Street, and the only reservation for it was 7:20 a.m.
No.
or 30.
Yeah, we're too old for that.
I'm
Y'all.
not doing that.
I said I'm not that committed.
I also don't have children
Right.
waking me up to do these things.
Right, for sure.
It'd be one thing if we had kids and they were like, princess,
Yeah,
princess.
for
and,
sure.
They're
We would
up
do
at
that.
5 a.m. anyway.
For sure. If we're up. I
Yeah.
mean, sure. But we had a long day the day before. We were like, no. It was fun though because Cruella was there.
Never met Cruella before.
She's fantastic.
She was great.
Cruella, darling.
Hello, darling.
Yes, how are
Yes.
you? Oh, well, the sun's shining, birds chirping. It's dreadful.
Dreadful.
Perfectly wretched. Yes.
Well, you look fat. You
I
do
know.
look fat.
I know. Your hair is rather stunning. isn't
No,
it?
your hair.
No, your. Yes, mine. No, you're right, mine. Ginny, darling.
I think, especially in the time that we went, there weren't a lot of people there in
Yeah.
the morning.
There
And
weren't
then-
a lot of people, and then a bunch of people showed up. But
Yeah.
that meant only waiting 10 minutes to see the princesses,
Yeah.
and really, it was fantastic.
was
But
great.
we saw Snow White and Cinderella and Ariel at the little princess area and
Fantasy Fair.
Fantasy Fair, and
Yep.
Snow White was fantastic.
She was great.
She was talking about her gooseberry pie.
Do we have any desserts?
Add Oreos.
No gooseberry pie.
No.
Oh goodness, you're waiting to watch us up, aren't you? Shall we all smile together?
You're smart, Snow White.
She had her stuff on
Yeah, she had it figured out.
But then Cinderella was great too. But then Ariel, we love Ariel.
She was very sweet.
She was very nice. But she greeted us and she said, "How's your guys' day so far?"
How's your guys' day so far? Excellent.
And then I looked at Lauren and I was like, "You guys? What?" Ariel does not say this word. You guys? Since when does Ariel say that? And she was really tan. The gal
was
that played her
very
was
tan.
very tan.
I see you brought your feet. You left your tails at home. A little bit easier that way, isn't it?
Well, she actually brought some tails with her.
Really? Well, that sounds like fun. So you have the option to swim or walk around.
Yes.
Yes, that gets a little easier, I guess, when your feet get tricky. That happens to me all the time.
You don't have to use a sea witch to do it either. So
Oh, that's nice. I know. I'm really glad my father helps me too. I like your hair, by the way. It's one of my favorite colors.
Oh, I love your hair too. It's so
Thank you. I used a dingle hopper for it this morning, actually.
Oh, I can tell.
And I didn't.
I I don't know. She was very nice.
She was super, super sweet, but entirely unconvincing as Ariel.
very. That's a great way to put it. Like,
Still not as unprofessional as Aladdin and Jasmine were
Yes.
the first time we ever went.
have we ever told that story?
I don't think so.
It was a crazy experience.
Maybe we've told it. I talk about it in the first video slightly.
Okay.
But basically, they was talking about things that should not have been talked about with guests like 2 feet in front of them.
Yeah. Like inappropriate stuff.
Yeah, there was some banter exchanged.
We can talk about that whenever we start our new segment called Mermaids After Midnight.
Yeah, we'll go more in depth in that story. We will be trying that podcast out on our Patreons first.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna be for the kiddos.
Nope.
So more on that
Yes.
at a later date.
More on that later, but
If you want to keep up with the news, that's a great way to do it.
here we are. Yeah. Yeah.
So definitely not near the unprofessionalism that we saw with
No.
Aladdin and Jasmine.
No, I think she was-
Jafar was on point.
Oh, Jafar was fantastic.
Jafar was
He was
fabulous.
frightening.
He was so good. So we've had really good luck with villains.
Yeah. And honestly, playing a villain is easier.
Yeah.
Because, and, people like with Ariel, for instance, like people know, at least I don't know, people know what to expect or like have expectations going into it.
Yes.
For the villains, like most people don't have expectations going into
I think
it.
your biggest expectation as a villain is to be clever.
Yes.
And you can get away with things when you're clever.
Yep, for sure.
Gaston gets away with insulting people
Oh, yeah.
all the time.
For sure. And yeah.
Cruella gets away with like a huge amount of vanity, which is so great.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, she was great. And her laugh that she did was
Yes.
fantastic. Spot on, girlfriend.
So good.
Gosh, sometimes I wish I could reach out to these people, like whoever played Snow White. I just want to be like, girl, way to go.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you.
Yes.
Like, way to go. Yeah, but and Cruella, like I actually, sorry, I keep hitting this thing. My tall, long legs. I actually like searched like Cruella like cast member or like whatever, like trying to find this chick. I can't find her. So if y'all,
because it's pretty big deal to like keep your like identity.
yeah, you're not supposed to do that at all.
a decent secret.
For sure. So like I'll probably never find her, but if y'all know anyone that plays a villain at Disney World, or Disneyland, let me know.
Mermaid, no.
Let me know. It was so great. I really loved her. Okay, so Disneyland.
30 minutes later.
Disneyland is just like part of our lives.
It just is. We love it so much.
Yes.
We should have done like an entire. We could do an entire episode just on our experience at Disneyland.
For sure.
Like the like 2 minutes for each hour we were there.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah.
Full episode.
For sure, though. Like, for sure.
So we had a fantastic time. Wednesday. What was Wednesday? Oh, Wednesday was Mermaid
Linden.
Linden. Oh, my friend for life.
I just don't even know where to start with her.
Man, emotions.
So many
Start with emotions, end with emotions, have all the emotions in between.
It was all good.
It was fabulous.
Yeah, and
Important emotions.
very important. And we started the day with her around 11:30. It was when our shoot was booked, and then we didn't like leave her place until like 9:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Like, we went and had dinner and went shopping a little bit, but like, that was we didn't get home till 9:30. Yeah. So it was a full day, and
Fantastic.
I honestly, like, that was my favorite part of the trip. Kind of changed everything for me, to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
Because we, I think the podcast in general, like, we are so grateful for y'all, like, listening and, like, paying attention and, like, caring.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, being able, like, not just, like, being able, like, just for us to be able to meet her, but for us to share, like, how amazing she is with other people, like what a cool thing we have. And, like, it's been like so many. I've gotten so many DMs about that particular episode. Like people also saying, "I cried with y'all," you know, like that was like, you know, people saying it was our best episode yet, and I, you know, 100% like agreed. Like that was like a very, very special moment for me.
Scariest episode yet too.
Oh my gosh!
With the thunder.
Oh, the thunder. It's so funny that it doesn't rain in California, but I guess it doesn't really rain in California.
No.
Or in Los Angeles anyway.
Like ever, and hardly ever thunderstorms.
Yeah. So like every time it would thunder, Lyndon would be like, "Shh, let's listen to it."
And I would scream. So apparently, that's how I'm living these days.
Yeah, that's really funny.
It's fine.
Yeah, it was pretty hilarious actually. Yeah. For those of y'all who haven't heard that episode, it was a couple weeks back, I believe episode 36. That happened, and I think it's called
Mermaids Get Salty.
No. Although we did.
Yes.
Yeah, but it's Mermaid Lyndon.
Yeah.
Who is an amazing just human and mermaid. And soul.
Yeah, and then the next thing we met another amazing mermaid, Mermaid Ginger.
Mermaid Ginger, who is fantastic.
Yeah.
I did not realize, you know, like, I didn't know that Ginger was not her real name.
Right.
Now I know. But you know, she's been in like, you know, big productions.
Oh, yeah.
And is really like living the mermaid life, professional mermaid life. Like it's a serious thing for her.
Yeah.
So kudos to her for doing that, and I appreciate that she drove all the way from Huntington Beach.
So appreciated.
To Studio
I don't think
City.
either one of us like.
I didn't know.
I'm so sorry.
I am so sorry.
I hope you have a zippy car.
Yeah, I think it took her like 2 hours to get
home.
I'm so sorry.
LA. That was terrible. But yeah, it was such a joy to meet her.
Yeah, she was great. So if you haven't heard that episode, I think that's 37, episode 37. And that one's called Google Search Ginger Mermaid. Because that's literally how somebody found her. And for a major commercial, they searched Ginger Mermaid.
Yeah, it was awesome.
She came up. I mean, branding. That's way to go.
And then that night, we saw Aladdin.
Yes, we saw Aladdin at the Chinese Theatre.
Oh, it's fabulous.
It was so beautiful in there.
It was. It's really pretty.
Yeah, it was so pretty. And
I'm really glad we saw that in an IMAX movie. So I've seen Aladdin twice now.
yes.
I saw it with you, and then I took boyfriend to go see it.
Sure.
And when we saw it, it was not IMAX. It wasn't like I could tell the quality difference. And then it was also in a theater with people using their cell phones a lot.
So
and
annoying.
With like children. And I think the person, like somebody behind us, I think was like watching their own thing on their phone without headphones.
Oh my gosh.
It was really annoying. Or talking on the phone
terrible.
or something. It was really bizarre.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So he didn't have quite the magical experience that I did the first time.
Well,
So rated it slightly lower than we do.
that's so funny. Oh, I thought it was great. I thought they did a great job.
Yeah.
I know we haven't really talked about it in depth on the podcast, like
True.
how we felt about it, but so now's a great time to discuss. But I thought it was great.
Yeah.
The only issue that I had, and I know you had, was Jafar. Oh, gosh.
That was rough. Just like give him any sort of emotion besides anger.
Yeah.
Anything else to work with.
We've talked about the crayon thing, the red crayon thing on this podcast.
Have we?
Yes.
Okay.
Just
Yeah. He didn't even have a box of crayons. He just had one
just
red
one.
crayon. And that's what he drew
Yeah.
his entire character with.
And
It was the red angry crayon.
I think what makes Jafar scary to me is like he has this really long face.
Yes.
And even his little goatee makes him even longer. And he has this deep voice.
And
you
he
know?
slinks around like a snake because he is one.
Because he is one. And not only do they leave the snake part out, they
left everything out.
They left it all. All the character, like, just anything that had to do with Jafar, I guess, in my brain, they left out.
Yeah.
It's just a completely
His
different.
staff is still there.
His staff is still there. You're right. And he had Yago, but like,
Who doesn't, like, isn't funny and doesn't really talk?
Nope. Not, I don't know. Like, everybody was so worried about the genie, and I thought he did fantastic.
Will Smith does not try in any way to emulate Robin Williams, and
Nope.
it works in his favor.
It works.
He did a lovely job. You know, he just does his own thing with it. The dancing was phenomenal.
good.
It was so good. The costumes are gorgeous.
Colors were great.
Colors were great. And I've told numerous people this so far, but it's like the chemistry between the genie, Jasmine, and Aladdin was key.
For sure.
Because if any of the three of them had been an iota less charming, it would not have worked.
Yeah, for sure. It was great.
Yeah.
They did a great job.
They're engaging to watch. Aladdin is just, so charismatic.
Yep.
That actor did great.
He was perfect for the role.
Yeah, he was so good. So, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, and as soon as it started, it said a Guy Ritchie film. And I was like, what? Guy Ritchie is doing a Disney movie?
And who's obsessed with Guy Ritchie in your household?
My husband is obsessed with Guy Ritchie. He watches every Guy Ritchie movie. And I remember, like, when we were dating, like, he'd make me watch all the Guy Ritchie movies. And, like, guys, like...
That is not up Abby's stream.
They're gory. They're violent. They're, like, they've got all this language. I'm like, why do we like this? But, you know, Guy Ritchie has a
signature.
Yes, a style, a signature style, and it's very like lots of like movement and then like slow-mo, you know, like all this like super dramatic shots, which I love. I
hope everyone appreciated that as much as I did. That was great. Please watch the YouTube version just for that.
There's a YouTube version. But like, you know, just like you feel movement when you watch his stuff. You don't feel like you're not moving, which I know doesn't probably make any sense, but
that's okay.
That's how I feel about it.
You guys know us so far.
Sure. Yeah. Abby's the weird one that can't communicate well. So anyway, so like going through, like there were moments where I was like, this is a Guy Ritchie film.
Yeah.
And one of those moments was when Jafar has Aladdin tied up in the chair, and he's pushing him out the window to like push him out into the water.
Which
where
isn't
he
a
sinks
spoiler.
down.
He does that in.
He does that in the cartoon.
In the cartoon too.
Yeah.
Not to a chair, but yes.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He just ties
got the
him.
chain. He's got the ball and chain.
Yeah. But anywho, so he's pushed him in the water, and of course, just in Guy Ritchie style.
He's falling,
and then slow motion, and like all this stuff goes on around him, and the camera goes around, and it's like, whoa, you know, like it's like perfect. It's so good. I'm like, this is why they hired Guy Ritchie to do this film.
Yeah.
But and you know a lot of the action scenes really called for that type of camera work. Mm-hmm. So the only part that I didn't love. And I understand why they do this. I understand. But, you know, there are points, like certain like scenes where they've sped it up to where you can tell they've sped up the movement. But, you know, the actors, I think they had to play it slower.
Yeah.
So that their mouths could sync with the music. But anyway, like, you know, you can tell they've sped it up so they could hop on the cart and let it go away. Because in cartoon versions, obviously, it's not real people. So, like, they can move as fast as they want.
Yeah.
And, like, stuff can go by really fast or whatever. But, like, in live action, like, that's not the case. And so I understand why they did that. But I don't know, it bothers me a little bit.
And I didn't like that.
It's distracting.
It is distracting because you're like, that's not...
There's
there's some dancing that did that too.
Yes, there were some dance moves where I'm like, I mean, we didn't
clearly sped it up.
Yeah, to me, it didn't need it, but it's.
Yeah, I think it just kind of pops you out of the moment.
Yeah, you're like, this is a movie, you know.
Yes,
like it takes you out of it for a minute, but you quickly get right back in, so it's fine.
But yeah, so highly enjoyable.
Yes.
If you just need a little blockbuster to see this summer, we recommend.
Go see it.
We enjoyed it a lot.
Hold on to your fins, mermaids. The Everyday Mermaid podcast will be right back.
Metro Merfolk! Y'all the bestest.
Y'all are the bestest. Y'all are so great. Metro Merfolk is one of our awesome sponsors, and we love them so much. Not only because, you know, they're awesome merfolk, but they have, not only classes and stuff, but like classes for kids and adults. And I mean, boot camps and all that stuff. But I feel like they're very diverse. They're the Metro Merfolk Pod. Y'all should check them out on the Facebook. But
It's one of the biggest pods in the nation, I think.
there's a lot of people in that group. And they're all so diverse and interesting and just so amazing. So y'all can go check out Metro Merfolk. It is... they're located in the like DC metropolitan area over there, but they are one of the friends over here at the Everyday Mermaid podcast. Check them out at Metro Merfolk on Facebook and Instagram. Now, this podcast is also sponsored by our friends at Mermagicon. I don't know why I have to sing it every time, but I guess
It's a
that's
musical
because
sounding name.
It is. It's, I don't know. It's just magical all in itself, really, because they got the mermaid classes. They had the Mermaid Olympics last time. They had the Mermaid Gala. Like, I just can't wait until next year. It's going to be in February of 2020, and y'all can get your tickets at mermagicon.com.
Guess who's going to be there?
We're going to be there, y'all.
These chicas right
Oh my goodness gracious. Yes, we are. I can't wait.
I'm going to hug all their tail fins when I'm there.
It's going to be so great. And we'll be there, and we hope you'll be there too. Get your tickets at mermagicon.com. This podcast is also sponsored by our friends at Mermaid Fin Fest. Yes. You know who else is going to be at Mermaid Fin Fest?
These chicas
Right here. And Mermaid Linden.
Yay!
She's going to be there. So we will all be reunited.
I'm going to hug her tail fin and never let it go.
We're going to hug her. So tight, so tight.
We's going to marry the ocean, too.
Oh, yes. So they're having a ceremony where you marry the ocean. It's all about ocean conservation, the Mermaid Fin Fest. So we're super pumped about it. I am like so thrilled. You can go to mermaidfinfest.com to get your tickets. And I would go ahead and just like swim over there now because I'm pretty sure like there's limited space and they're getting close to selling out. So mermaidfinfest.com is where you go for those tickets, and we will see you there, mermaids.
And then Friday, Abby had a really exciting day.
Yes. I was like, wait, Friday, what did Abby do?
She had a
yeah.
underwater photo shoot.
I did. So I met up with the underwater woman, Christine. Christine Wren. She leads these underwater workshops where it's working with a photographer. She had a videographer there as well. And she kind of leads you in some movement exercises and it's for all levels. I've done a lot of underwater work before, but for me, like I've never done it with really anyone else, but my photographer who's done all my stuff. And I'm like, I want another perspective. Like I want someone to tell me like, try this instead of this, or like breath holding, like stuff
some different techniques.
Yeah. And so it was really cool. I was just kind of affirmed in like, there was, definitely learned some things and like, I know this comes to a shock, but I have a hard time relaxing sometimes. So when you're in the water, you kind of have to relax because the water's going to move you, and you may want to go this way and pose this way, but the water's going to take you the way it's going to take you, and you just got to deal with it. So being able to kind of like work
Sometimes
through
you
that.
have to swim with the current.
Yes. Which I have found is just my issue in life. I really do things sometimes too quickly, and when the universe isn't ready for me to do it, but whatever. So that was really helpful, learning techniques, and got to, it's just nice to work with other photographers and other people.
Yes. And I know that you said that something that always happens when you do underwater photography didn't happen this time, and you think it's like the techniques Christine showed you. You didn't cramp underwater.
Yeah. So, which is so weird. But I do think it's just because the stuff we did beforehand, like stretching and like, breathing exercises and just relaxing before we did stuff was super helpful in not having cramps. Because I legit have a cramp every time I shoot underwater. Always. It doesn't matter. Like, it's crazy.
So if you guys Is it on your Instagram?
It's on my Instagram, some of the photos. Yes.
Check those out because they're gorgeous. One of the girls brought some period clothing.
Yeah. Yeah. This chick that showed up, she had a whole bag of, she does historical dancing, apparently, and makes her own, like, dresses for it. And so she brought all these dresses, and Christine was like, because this gal hadn't really done underwater modeling before. She's kind of newer to that. And she's like, you probably don't want to go with like this heavier dress because it's difficult. Whatever. So she went with a different one. And I was like, I want the heavy dress. So I took the heaviest dress she had. And so that's the one that I'm in all the images. But yeah, it was really cool. And I'm glad that she brought those because, when I was packing and stuff, like that was the last thing on my mind. Like I did not remember to bring anything for the underwater shoot. So I just like threw in stuff that I was like, I've done this enough to where I'm like, we can make something cool out of this.
Right.
Whatever.
Right.
But I'm glad that she had those. Like that was totally like,
that was
like
really,
meant
really
to be.
something.
Yeah, it is cool. But I got to meet, some the new different photographers and videographers and stuff. So it was just really cool. And Christine's awesome. She did. It's called. She's the Underwater Woman on Instagram, but she has what's called Underwater Play Day on Instagram as well. So like these are the workshops. So that was the one that I went to in LA
And then on Saturday.
Oh, we went to. We shot some photos for some sponsors that we have. But then we went to the Griffith Observatory.
That's right.
Which was huge for me.
It was huge for Abby.
La La Land is my favorite movie. And I was reliving all the scenes in there. And yeah, totally fangirling. It was the best.
It was adorable.
It was the best day ever.
Yeah. That was really awesome.
It was awesome.
That was great. And then we went out to Culver City. We were my neck of the woods, and I showed her some of the places I used to go. And
yes, we went to a very saucy bookstore.
Oh, yes, the Ripped Bodice.
Ripped Bodice, yes.
It is a romance bookstore in downtown Culver and is also run by a gaggle of fantastic women.
Yeah.
So they just have, they have all the romance novels, but they also have lots of great talks with authors. They have, femme-led seminars, and it's a really, really awesome little Nook bookstore. So I had a great time there. I picked up a couple of Mermaid books.
Yes, excited about that.
Yeah, so I've been working my way through the smutty one.
Okay, yes.
Obviously.
Right, of course.
That's
Another mermaid after midnight.
it's like Atlantis themed.
Yes, very exciting. Goodness.
So, and then that night we had dinner with a dear, dear friend of mine at this fabulous restaurant.
Oh my gosh, it was so great.
So now I've completely forgotten what it's called. Marie, it doesn't matter. Anyway, all of the waiters and waitresses sing.
Yeah.
So throughout the night, you're treated to this kind of cabaret karaoke night. And of course, it's all major show tunes or
which we are all about.
Oh, yes. So Abby and I are off in our little corner just singing our hearts out. One little girl went up. She was preteen.
Yeah, one of the people dining.
A patron, yeah, like a restaurant goer.
She had brought sheet music, so I think it was her birthday or something, and she kind of planned.
And I also think that they've probably been there before.
Yes, yes.
She's worked her way up to where she did. So it was so fabulous because she sang a song from
Anastasia. Hearts don't fail me now.
Oh, that's right. Desert me, don't turn back. Now that we're here.
So as soon as she started singing, we were like,
oh yeah, we were in it to win it. So we were just somebody sang a song from Les Mis, which we just fake operatic our hearts out to, and it was. It was perfect, and it was really funny because my friend who brought me, she also brought her daughter, and I stayed with them before Abby got there, and so they're dear friends of mine from LA, and they wouldn't tell me the restaurant. because they were like, it's a secret. You know, we have to bring
I
you
didn't
here. It's
know
a
that.
surprise. Yeah. So they wouldn't tell me. The only reason that they ended up telling me was so that we could find out for sure if you could eat there.
Oh, because I'm gluten-free and it
you're
was an
gluten-free.
Italian restaurant.
So I didn't look up, but I didn't look up anything about it. Like I didn't know anything.
I didn't know, like,
Yeah.
going into it. I
Right.
didn't know.
So, but the only thing they told me beforehand was you have to go here. It's Lauren approved.
And that it was.
110%.
For
I was
sure.
like, stamp, done,
Yeah.
finished. Yeah. So
Yeah.
sadly, I did not know about it until after leaving LA, but it was so fun.
We got to go back next time and bring our music.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, it was great. So we did that last time. But yeah, that was our trip to LA. We left at an ungodly hour Sunday morning.
Yeah.
We did have an interesting moment because Abby's bag had to get searched,
Yeah.
and it's the aerial one. So the guy
And we
was
were
looking
both in Disney outfits.
both in Disney outfits, and the guy looked down and was looked up to find the people it belonged to, saw the two of us, and went, "Should have known."
He was like, "Did y'all go to Disneyland?"
And we're both,
was
"How
like,
can you tell?"
I mean, yes.
So,
Yeah.
so yes.
It's good.
But yeah, a very, very successful
So
Los Angeles
successful
trip.
Yes, I felt that was so great. And you know, there have been moments in my life where I'm like, do I move to LA? Do I not move to LA? Do I move to LA? Do I not? Because Ben and I are both kind of in the film area or whatever, and I'm like, I don't know.
Do we make this leap?
So actually going there and being there for a week and actually like having to drive to all these different places, I'm like, heck no. I mean, the only way that I would live there is if I have a home on the beach, you know, in Malibu or something,
Yeah.
you know, which one day I will, I'm sure. Have a home there and a home in Nashville where I can come back to normalcy. And, you know, Nashville, I complain about the traffic all the time, but I'm
Yeah.
like, nope, 30 minutes, love it. Take me there. Like,
Well, now some friends of mine also pointed out that we came through the wrong airport.
oh,
We should not have gone through LAX.
LAX.
And I was like, but Southwest flies here. They were like, Southwest flies to Burbank.
oh.
And I was like, what? So the friends that I had ice cream with,
Okay.
like that one night, they were like,
So
never
next
fly
time-
through, always fly through Burbank because it's so much nicer.
Okay.
And we live right here. We'll pick you up.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I will go visit. I would love to go there once a month. You know, like to just like do all the things because I mean, we don't have a beach here.
Right.
For mermaiding, it's somewhat important to have a body of water close by.
Yes.
And B, like there are so many mermaids out there. Like there's so much like opportunity as far as the podcast is concerned. Like whatever, but I don't know. It makes me appreciate Nashville because, you know, at least I can somewhat like it's getting harder and harder to afford to live here. But I mean, at least we have a house.
Yeah, for sure.
And not just a room. And traffic isn't so bad. It's kind of clean, you know.
We're cleaning up our river, man.
Yeah, for sure. Excited about that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love LA. I loved it, and there's so much to do. But I can see how one could get lost there.
Yeah. Yep. It'll do it.
So
I do miss it though, sometimes.
yes, I think it's about time for a hashtag Jody moment. Okay. So, remember when we had Mermaid Ginger on the show?
I remember what we didn't do with Mermaid Ginger on the show.
Yeah. We didn't have a Jody moment. I cannot believe us.
You know why, right?
Why? Oh,
We didn't have our voice box.
so I meant to keep it. I don't know if I did. Oh, yeah.
You
I
cut the
literally
box.
had a Jody moment box that it was packed in, ready to go. Look, it even has like the foamy things. And I even had this thing. I had this taped over the sensor so that it could be in there. Like, I had it all ready to go. Dang it. I just forgot it in Nashville. So, yeah.
Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes it happens. And you learn a lot.
You do.
And I learned a lot this trip. One thing I learned was to get a Pelican case, specifically for all of our podcast gear, so that Abby doesn't forget stuff. Yep. But yeah, so we missed the Jody moment on Mermaid Ginger's episode. And I'm like, gosh darn it.
So now we have to make up for it.
Yeah, so now we have to really double doozy it because...
She's been active, though.
She's been active. Her son's kind of doing some like film stuff. People are graduating, all that stuff. But I did some research on her experience recording The Little Mermaid because, as the voice of The Little Mermaid, like that was her first voiceover gig. Yeah. That was the first time she'd ever done voiceovers. And apparently... back in those days, real actors didn't do voiceovers. Like, that wasn't a thing, like, the cool thing to do. Mm-hmm. And so, it was not something that, she thought she was going to be on Broadway. Like, she thought that was going to be her thing.
I actually, while we were in LA, one of my favorite YouTubers, Lindsay Ellis, did a segment about Robin Williams being the genie.
Yeah.
And talked about how at the time that was made, A-list actors did not do animation.
Yeah.
It was purely a point for like C and D list, and on occasion maybe a B-lister.
Yeah.
Would
which is crazy.
Join the cast.
And nowadays, like
it's nothing but A-listers.
I just watched the movie Trolls for the first time, and I'm like, every character is a celebrity right now. Like what? But anyway, so, she talked, Jodi Benson talked a lot about, the difference between the Broadway life and having to do a voiceover. And she said that, that as they were recording Part of Your World, they just kept telling her like, less, give me less, Jodi. Like, it's too much.
'Cause she kept like, acting it as if she was on stage.
She kept belting out the notes, and she said that she's quite the perfectionist, so she was trying to make every note perfect, you know? And so what he told her to do was he said to turn out the lights, go sit on a stool somewhere, and put your hands over your face and just speak the lyrics, like, softly. And then that's how you should feel as you're singing it. Which I thought was very, very interesting. Yep. So I think it took some adjusting for her to get from Broadway Jodi to voiceover Jodi. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
There is a underrated stillness to acting that gets lost, especially if you're doing big stage work where your audience can't see everything that you do.
Yeah.
But on camera, everything is seen. So when you're doing camera work, you have to understate everything you do, especially your emotions, because everything comes out as 10 times bigger than it actually is.
For sure.
Whereas on stage, nothing comes out, and you have to be huge.
Totally. It's a really hard thing to adjust if you're used to one or the other. Mm-hmm. Since we're doing like double doozy Jodi moment this time, I also did some other research, and you know how on the live action, Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to be a part of it somehow, some way. I'm here for him.
I think he's right now. All it says is that he's producing it. But y'all know he gonna have a hand in that music.
Little something, I'm sure. But I found out that his son is named Sebastian, and the Little Mermaid has a key role in naming his son Sebastian. So he's a fan. He's a mermaid fan, right?
Put him on the list of people I would like to be right here.
Yes. Ooh. whenever I was at PodX, there was the Hamill cast
Yeah.
gal there.
Yeah.
She said that she had Lin-Manuel Miranda on the show, and I was like, be still my heart. Like,
Oh my God.
and she has it at her house. And so, you know, like we have it at our house, and she was like, you know, like I had to like really scrub my house that day. Like I would be so nervous. I'd be like, welcome to my humble abode.
I think you'd have to move it back down in the mermaid room.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You'd have to move it back down to the mermaid room.
Yeah.
It'd be very important.
Yeah. Because there's like ball marks on our walls and stuff.
From where Ben has thrown the tennis ball for Theodore.
Yeah. We couldn't bring him up here.
Special bond between man and dog.
Yes. Something like that.
Funny. But speaking of PodX though, we went. We went to a podcast convention.
We went. How did we find out about it? Multiple people sent it to me.
Yeah.
I think you were the first one that sent it to me.
Oh,
though.
good.
Yeah.
I think I saw a billboard for it, but I know somebody sent it to me.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, God.
Yeah.
You gotta look for it.
And yeah, thankfully.
Yeah, so it was a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I couldn't do Friday because work, and Saturday was my sister's bridal shower, so I only went on that Sunday.
Yeah.
But you got a wealth of information. I got a wealth of information on that Sunday.
Yeah,
too.
for sure. Yeah, I was there all weekend, and you know, I think we just kind of like jumped into this podcasting thing. We didn't necessarily like. We did our research, but the mermaid world is such a different space.
Yes.
We're not a true crime podcast. We're not talking about sports, you know, like we have a very like well-knit community already. And so we kind of knew like where we wanted to go and like who we wanted to reach. So I don't know. It's different than, you know, somebody who wants to start a true crime podcast or whatever.
Right.
Like I'm glad we're not a true crime podcast.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's oversaturated. Everybody's true crime these days, which is great, but it's hard to
Yeah.
get a name for yourself.
And one of the lectures that we went to was how to prep your podcast for journalists.
Yep.
And I mean, I know for me that was super helpful.
Yeah.
Because he said a lot of things that like we either already have and are already doing, or things that would be fairly easy for us to like add and
Yeah.
do. Like
One of which is transcripts.
I have to show you that, by the way.
Okay. It's a lot.
I've been transcribing the Mermaid Linden episode, which is our longest one, and I was like, let's see how long this takes me. I've been doing it for 3 days, and I'm only 5 minutes in.
Oh my God. Okay.
But YouTube's closed captions aren't terrible.
Okay.
They're very helpful.
Yeah,
So I
that's good.
wish there was a way that I could just like download,
Export those.
yeah, export that and just work off of that file, because that would be so much easier.
I'm sure there is a way. And,
I know.
you know, I've been messaged by a few, like, people that do that. Like, that's what their company does. They transcribe their
Okay.
podcast. But, like, at this point, I mean, we can't pay anybody to do it.
Yeah, we're still pretty grassroots. Like, I don't mind doing
Yeah.
it. It's just
It's a lot. We
it
talk
is a
a
lot.
lot. And
We
it goes fast.
Yes.
And, yeah. So, but that was one of the things he said to do.
like
And
it almost makes me want to try like text to or speech to text. And
Yeah.
be like, if I just hold my phone
right.
to a microphone, will it transcribe everything, and then I
Yeah.
can just like go in and change? Because
Yeah.
obviously mermaiding,
Yeah,
not a
that doesn't-
word that
There's a lot
closed
of
captioning
words.
understands. So
Yeah.
it comes out as Merlin or
Yeah.
Merling or marrying or every M-ing word.
Yeah.
So that's really funny.
But it makes sense because, you know, if a journalist is going to do like a review or something, they don't have to listen to our episode
Exactly.
over again to like quote us or
Yes.
whatever it is. So that was definitely
That was
helpful.
super helpful. And then one of the ones that we both kind of asked about was like, our podcast is super niche.
Yeah.
Like, this is a mermaid podcast. I mean, part of it's like a little bit, it does have a lot of slice of life attached to it, you know, just us sitting here talking about things, but very mythically inclined.
Yes.
And so we were like, where does a podcast like ours sit in the grand
does that
scheme of
live?
things? And he said, yours is exactly what we should be listening to. it's a different voice.
Yeah.
And both of us are just like,
Yeah!
we did it. We did it. We did it.
Yeah. That was super helpful to hear.
Yes.
Because sometimes we're like, what are we doing
I
again?
Look at this stuff. Isn't it neat?
We don't know. We don't know. But yeah, it was super helpful. Podx just in general was really, really a good experience for me. And I had never been in a room with like professional podcasters before. So it was helpful to hear. The main takeaway for me was get on Twitter. And I was like, but I don't like it. I don't like Twitter.
There's a reason why mermaids don't fly.
For real though. But we did it
Twitter
anyway.
just isn't our platform.
It's not, but I got on and then I was like, ooh, all the podcasters are on here.
Yeah.
I'm like, go follow all of them. So we are there. We're Everyday Merpod because Everyday Mermaid was taken and Everyday Mermaid podcast was too long.
Yes.
But literally Everyday Mermaid, I don't know who you are out there, but we need to chat because I know you're not really a mermaid because you just, I don't know. Mm-hmm. There were no tails involved in her Twitter feed. Right. That's what I'm saying. Right. Whatever. I don't know. But
give it to us.
Please. It's only because it's our brand. We love you. So yeah, so maybe go follow us there.
We're on Twitter now.
But
it's a thing.
We like Instagram better.
Yeah.
So that's where we land.
Well, some of us like Instagram. Some of us can't handle Instagram.
Well, it's all right.
We'll do a video about that. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll teach everyone how to use it. It'll be great.
It'll be great.
Especially me.
Yeah.
But yeah, we came away from it with the knowledge that what we are already doing with the podcast is exactly the path we should be on. We are well on our way.
Yeah.
Like past the point we should be, quote unquote.
Yeah.
We met several Nashville podcasters, and we've met several podcasters in general, and several of them are there and hadn't started a podcast yet.
Yeah.
And I know from my perspective, if we hadn't started this yet and
Yeah,
went to
and
that,
then went to that.
I'd be like, we have so much to do. We're not ready for this. We can't do. No, we're not. We can't. We're gonna have to postpone. I don't know.
sure.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
For sure.
And
it was a lot.
We basically just got a huge boost from it. And
Yeah.
it was fabulous. And we ate some really, really good Mexican food.
Delicious tacos.
Lemon tacos.
It was delicious. Yeah, it was great. And I think, the biggest takeaway was that we are doing something that's, apparently where we are is a good place to be.
Yes.
And so, the main way that these people are able to do this full time is literally 50-50 ads and their Patreon. So one thing that I have learned and we are now starting to do is give our Patreon patrons bonus episodes every single week. So we'll release the podcast early. An ad-free version of the podcast goes up on Tuesday for the patrons. We release it to the public on Wednesday.
Yep.
And then on Saturdays, we release a bonus episode. So it's completely new, specific for the patrons as a thank you. And, as we go along, we'll probably build up the tiers and give you more stuff, once we get to 50 patrons, we'll be able to throw out our merch line. We've had some stuff in the works for a while now.
Yeah.
But, we need to get up to 50 to be able to do that in a smart way. And, it just helps us bring y'all more guests and more people that on the show that you want to see. So it's not just us all the time. Because, we know you
love us.
Yeah, and we love y'all. But we also love, getting to learn from other mermaids, too. And so we want you to learn that, too.
Super important.
Yeah, so that was a lot. It was a lot of good stuff. And, for this to be successful, our Patreon has to be successful. So patreon.com/everydaymermaid is where you go for that. And we love y'all. And, if there's stuff that you want to see at the pod on Patreon, is we will. Whatever you want to see, we'll do it because we want to give you guys what you want to hear and see and do and all that stuff. So, yeah. thank y'all to the ones that have already joined the pod. We love y'all so much. Mermaid
Aunt
Solstice.
Nikki.
Yes, Aunt Nikki, Pegasus Muses and her mermaid security, and Sean, the Mer Wrangler. So thank you to all of y'all who have already joined the pod. We love y'all so much. And, anything y'all need, we are here for that.
Is it happening
Is that
again?
thunder? No.
I think it's an
probably just an
airplane.
airplane.
I'm not emotionally prepared to scream.
It's Mermaid Linden episode all over again.
I feel her spirit.
Yes. Oh, I miss her.
Well, I know.
Oh, man.
too.
Okay, so
Jesus Christ, Abby's 3 hours long.
I know. I know.
We've got to pare these down.
I know. Okay, so thank you all for listening. We've been talking a really long time now, so we're going to stop talking now. And until next week, that is, of course. So if you want to follow us on the social medias, Lauren is mermaid_after_midnight. And I am at Mermaid Vlogs. And combined, we are at Everyday Mermaid Podcast. So you can follow us on Instagram. We're also on the YouTubes. Mermaid Vlogs is the YouTube channel if you want to check out the video version. And be sure to check out the Patreon pod, patreon.com/everydaymermaid. And I guess until next time, we will
See you on the flip side.
Bye, mermaid.